The alien marketplace buzzed with 1,000 different species, each haggling in their native tongues beneath the crimson sky of Veltrix 9. Kevin weaved through the crowd, his human frame dwarfed by the towering Crethians and the serpentine Zythians that dominated the trade hub. In his hands, wrapped carefully in synthetic cloth, lay a sword unlike any he had ever seen. Its blade shimmered with an otherworldly iridescence, and strange symbols ran along its length, symbols that seemed to shift when he wasn't looking directly at them. He had found it 3 days ago in the wreckage of a crashed ship on the outskirts of the colony. The vessel bore the insignia of the Valkorian Empire, a warrior civilization that had conquered 12 star systems in the past century alone. Kevin knew he should have left it alone and reported it to the authorities. But something about the weapon called to him, and when he discovered the ship's logs mentioning a surviving pilot named Jasmine, he knew he had to find her. The information broker had been expensive, but worth it. Jasmine was here in the marketplace trying to secure passage off-world. Kevin spotted her near a weapons dealer's stall. She was tall, even by Valkorian standards, with the characteristic silver-streaked hair of her people braided into intricate combat patterns. Her armor, though damaged, still bore the marks of a high-ranking officer. 3 other Valkorian warriors stood beside her, their hands never far from their plasma rifles. "Excuse me," Kevin called out in Galactic standard, approaching carefully. "Are you Jasmine of the Valkorian Third Fleet?" The warriors immediately formed a defensive position around her, weapons raised. Jasmine's violet eyes fixed on Kevin with the intensity of a predator assessing prey. "Who asks?" Her voice was cold and commanding. "My name is Kevin. I'm a salvage worker from the human colony nearby. I found your ship." He slowly unwrapped the sword, holding it out toward her. "I believe this belongs to you." The effect was instantaneous and completely unexpected. The moment Kevin's bare hand touched the exposed hilt, the sword erupted in brilliant white light. Energy crackled along the blade, and the symbols began to glow with an intensity that made several nearby aliens shield their eyes. The weapon hummed with power, resonating with a frequency that Kevin could feel in his bones. But what shocked him most was Jasmine's reaction. She stumbled backward, her face contorted in disbelief and what looked like fear. Her warriors cried out in their native tongue, words Kevin didn't understand, but whose meaning was clear in their panicked tones. They dropped their weapons and fell to their knees, heads bowed, trembling. "Impossible," Jasmine whispered, her voice cracking. "The blade of sovereign light. It hasn't chosen a bearer in 3,000 years." Kevin looked down at the sword in confusion. The light was fading now, settling into a soft glow that seemed to pulse in time with his heartbeat. "Chosen? I was just trying to return it to you. You don't understand, human." Jasmine's voice held a mixture of awe and terror. "That weapon is the symbol of the Valkorian Empire's ultimate authority. It was forged by the first emperor himself, imbued with the essence of our dying star. It can only be wielded by one deemed worthy by the weapon itself. One who possesses the strength to unite worlds and the wisdom to rule them justly." She took a shaky breath. "In 3 millennia, it has been held by only 5 beings. Each became an emperor or empress who reshaped the galaxy. The last bearer, Empress Thaler, used it to establish the borders of our current empire before it went dormant at her death 4 centuries ago. We have searched for its next wielder ever since." "But I'm just a salvage worker," Kevin protested, trying to hand her the sword again. The blade flared brighter, and Jasmine actually stepped back. "It has chosen," she said firmly. "I cannot touch it now. None of us can. To do so would mean death. The weapon will only accept its chosen bearer." The marketplace had gone silent. Aliens of every species were staring, some backing away, others pulling out communication devices. Kevin realized with growing horror that word of this would spread across the galaxy within hours. "This is insane," he muttered. "I don't want to rule an empire. I just wanted to return lost property." One of Jasmine's warriors spoke up, his voice trembling with reverence. "The weapon cares not for your wants, human. It recognizes what you are, even if you do not." Jasmine straightened, and despite her evident shock, Her military training reasserted itself. My warriors and I are sworn to serve the bearer of the sovereign light, as have our families for generations. I am yours to command, Kevin of Earth. This is ridiculous, Kevin said, but his protest sounded weak, even to his own ears. The sword felt right in his hand, like it had always belonged there. And now, looking at the fear and respect in the eyes of beings who could snap him in half without effort, he understood the terrible truth. Humanity had been a minor player in galactic politics, a young species barely tolerated by the elder civilizations. But this weapon had changed everything. The Valkorian Empire alone controlled 12 systems and commanded fleets that could glass planets. And their most sacred weapon had chosen a human. What happens now? Kevin asked quietly. Jasmine met his eyes, and he saw calculation behind them. Now you have a choice. You can try to hide, but the blade cannot be concealed, not from those who know how to look for it. Every faction in the galaxy will seek you out. Some will try to serve you. Others will try to kill you and claim the blade, though they will fail. Or you accept what the weapon has made you. You take your place as the rightful bearer of the sovereign light. You let us teach you our ways, train you in leadership and combat, and when you are ready, you claim your throne. Kevin looked down at the sword, still glowing softly in his hands. He thought of his quiet life, his small apartment at the colony, and his simple job. All of that was gone now, destroyed the moment he touched this weapon. But he also thought of what it could mean, the power to change things, to bridge the gap between humanity and the elder races, and perhaps bring a new era of peace, or at least respect, to his people. I need time, he finally said. Jasmine nodded slowly. Time is one thing we can provide, at least for now. But Kevin of Earth, bearer of the sovereign light, the galaxy will not wait long, and neither will those who seek the power you now hold. As they left the marketplace together, Kevin couldn't shake the feeling that his life had just changed in ways he couldn't begin to comprehend. The sword pulsed warmly against his palm, and in its glow, he saw not just his reflection, but perhaps the future of humanity itself. Behind them, the warriors of the Valkorian Empire followed their new master, and the galaxy held its breath.